So if you've got a business you've worked for and you're facing a divorce, what are your options for keeping the business? Well, a business is just another asset to be divided in a divorce. And if you're the party who's been building this business and tending to it, and it's primarily been your business during the divorce, even though it's a community asset, you'll probably get awarded that business. You're just going to have to offset it with equal assets of another kind in the divorce. So the chances are pretty good if you've built a business yourself and you're the spouse that runs it, that you'd be able to take care and keep that business on the other side of the divorce. Other options, if you're involved in a small corporation and you own all the shares, well, again, those shares are just going to be something that is fungible that can be divided once we ascertain the cost of them, and your spouse could just be offset for the cost of those stock assets. Now, it gets a little more complicated if you and your spouse are 50-50 partner owners in the business. Then we move out of the world of divorce and we move over more into business law and who would be the more rightful person to take over that business. And that's going to get real fact specific. And you're probably going to need maybe even not only a divorce attorney, but also a business attorney to help walk through the business divorce. If you've got questions about keeping your business on the other side of divorce, whether it's a small cottage business, as they say, or you get K-1s from something that you own on a small ownership basis, we're used to helping people walk through these issues. Give us a call and we'll give you our best advice. So how do you negotiate with your spouse to keep your business? If you've got a business you've worked hard for all your life, and yet here you are looking at a divorce and you're faced with possibly losing your company to your spouse or dissolving it, well, you can negotiate that. At the end of the day, this is going to fall down on properly valuing the business and then comparing the value of that to other assets in the community estate, and then just making sure your spouse feels good about negotiating away some of those other assets, and you would get to keep the business asset. It's just a matter of dividing the apples and oranges. If you've got a small business in a divorce and you're trying to figure out how to structure a buyout agreement, well, that buyout agreement might involve business partners, or it might involve your spouse, or maybe you and your spouse and some business partners. You're definitely going to need the help of a divorce attorney on the divorce side of it. And it's almost certain that you're going to need a business attorney to help you with that contract on the buyout on the business side. Your legal team working together can definitely put together a deal that will secure your interest in your business on the other side of a divorce. So what kinds of businesses are most at risk of being divided in a divorce? Well, first of all, anything that's just an extension of yourself, such as Robert Von Dohlen, attorney at law, his law practice. Well, that's really an extension of myself. Or most medical doctors or dentists, they have a professional practice, but it's really just an extension of themselves. Where you've got to worry about dividing gets into when you've got something that's more easy to divide, where there's more than just the person. If it's a fungible business that there's a big market to go buy and sell, like a franchise. If you had a Chick-fil-A franchise to divide, well, then we're going to get into a whole different set of issues on dividing these things. You're going to need professional valuations, probably going to need an attorney for that business, and it's just going to be a very fact-specific situation on walking through all that to get it divided. So if you've got a small business or any business interest, and you have concerns about keeping that interest and having that interest awarded to you in a divorce, it would help to talk to a team who's been through this before. Give us a call at the Von Dohlen Law Firm. We'll give you a free case evaluation, and we will give you our best advice on how to move forward with your business.